So you've recently left MAGA. Great. It's not time to talk yet. That will come. Now it's time to learn. So here's a reading list to help get you started. These are books that I read in my transition now a decade ago. I'm also an affiliate for bookshop.org, and so you can find links to purchase these through the link in my bio. I use Bookshop as opposed to Amazon because they support independent booksellers. All right, let's dive in. The first and most obvious choice to give you a macro view of what you haven't learned about American history, and that's Howard Zinn's The People's History of the United States. It's longer, but actually a pretty easy read for a history book. I think it'll keep you pretty well engaged, especially because this will be all new information. The next is especially important for you evangelicals. This book will pierce the veil for you in terms of the role of American evangelicalism in politics. Jesus and John Wayne by Kristen Kobes-Dumes. The next is for the Middle East and everything happening with Palestine and the war in Iran. The root of our current problems. And that's The 100 Years' War on Palestine by Rashid Khalidi. It's the quickest way to give yourself a solid background on the situation, without any of that pro-Israel bias you get everywhere else. Next, so you can begin to see the impacts of modern-day systemic racism in this country. You've probably heard of redlining, but there's just so much more. So you should read The Color of Law by Richard Rothstein. And along the same lines, to give you a better look of the most prominent civil rights figure, The Radical King by Cornel West, about Martin Luther King Jr., of course. And then finally, to see why political parties turn against democracy like the Republican Party has done, you should read Tyranny of the Minority by Stephen Levitsky and Daniel Ziblatt. These are actually the same authors of How Democracies Die, another great book. But I think this one is a little better introduction for our American situation. This should give you a solid start, and when you're done, I've got lots more for you. You can't really change until you learn. You should also now be getting your news directly from reputable sources like the AP, and you should be listening to Democracy Now! Every single day. In fact, everyone out there should be listening to Democracy Now! Every single day. Those people do a great job. Good luck.